Yes, Thomas, that's why there are no mathematical coincidences at the completion of a circuit of why I experience what I experience, when I experience, why I experience it, where I experience, when I experience. There's no coincidences. So here's an example of a previous video. I talked about learning speed and, if you will, gifted learners. When you're a small child, you're on fire to learn, you're on fire to create. Right? And all the data is in on the acceleration of electrons to build a communication system, to create something brand new. It's never been created before because you're on fire to do that. So you know that fire is what frees your spirit. Right? That's a powerful shield. Right? And that's the electrical accretion level, the speed. The electrified sound and light joined as one, Kunda rays. And so as that relates to being calm, and as that relates, for example, why I'm here and happen to be in a house with a guy who's a property owner that spends most of his time not on this property. And what does that allow me to do? It allows me more time to be calm. And why is that? Now we're back to childhood, exposing all the programming. So when they realize that they're held captive by the deadlight program codes, right? Black and red pulse wave. Like, I watched part of a movie last night and it's like codes. Remember Katharine Hepburn, the actress? And Spencer Tracy in a famous movie that was a lot of fun to watch when I watched it back when it came out in the 1960s, called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? And this was Cindy Poitier, who was a black tribe that had a loving relationship with the disc face, right? Remember, in a spiritual war, it's not what you look like. The essence of our spirit, the energy that we are, the consciousness that we are, the essence of our spirit. Yeah, what it feels like to be in the presence of that energy. What it feels like to be in the presence of those programs that are running. I don't want to be held captive to what they're held captive to. Right? So when they realize that you're not held captive to that programming, and they are, that's a nuclear reaction state in their cellular processing of cellular consciousness processing. The programs, the codes, the mathematical codes, the visual mathematical holograms of a deadlight system. So they realize you're not held captive to a deadlight system, that they are, because of the codes that they're running, which are deadlight AIQI codes. Okay? And so that's the reaction that I experienced the other day. And that has everything to do with what? Learning speed, which is the accretion level speed. To become lighter. Right? And that's tied directly to the Borgia matrix quarantine. The competitive mind. Chasing electrons, believing that their security, right, is being a vampire. To accumulate more of what they are held captive to, that increases their density instead of becoming lighter. That's believing in a lie. And you see how that rates to what? The reptile brain. The complex number space. As that relates to polarity. Because when you're experiencing no polarity, you're not held captive by anything. That's a free spirit. The still point of a true vacuum. Right? So when there isn't any time, right, and we're only experiencing what love is, it goes on forever, creating more of what's new to experience in our mirror, because our mirror is on fire. Right? So fire is what frees us, because fire is what heals us. That's a shield. That's healing codes. The cosmic fire of cosmic source. the source from which it all begins, and it never ends. It goes on forever. That's a love song. That's a love song that lives in my heart. That's the one I serve. I serve the love song. So we're singing love songs, the spirit in the radio wave, dancing. Right? And so we dance to the beat of our own drum, and the beat, the creative mother, father and mother joined as one, the mother arc, 13th mother arc, 13th starfire cycle, cosmic cycle, cosmic cleansing, cosmic clearing, clearing the debris fields, clearing the nets, right? That's why I sent a little blurb to Lisa Wolf, White Buffalo Woman, yesterday. It just came to me out of nowhere. I thought, hey, I'll share it. And I was thinking about 6 peace treaties that came by way of another speakerphone. What's his name? Meredith Quinn talked about 6 peace treaties, and they all have names. And 6 is half of 12. And you can tie this directly to 72, which is 9. And you can tie that to 144, which is 12. Yeah. And the hybrid programs. Right? And how the peace treaties relate to they'll never honor their treaty. So I lost a little bit of a video talking about sovereign law. So I know that love is a law because that's a law of spheres. They're in perfect balance to experience no mass. Because that's called equal sharing. Right? I usually have fun with this because, like, sometimes I'll go buy avocados and I'll split half of it and put it outside. For them, Kirashe, here's a gift from heaven. And I'll go out there later and they ate it because of the nutrients, the mineral content, the power that is in that avocado. So in other words, it's not just good for me, it's good for them. What's good for me is good for you. The unici, the unity waveform crystal wave, the pink Rosetta. Yeah. And so what I put in there was, okay, so we have 6 treaties, half of 12. Right? But imagine that a clan mother already knows, because she's experiencing pure, eternal, absolute love. She's experiencing the source field, and source is letting that clan mother know, you already know that this treaty doesn't have any weight. I don't experience any weight. Oh, but they do. And that treaty represents an imbalance because it's not equal sharing. So now you can tie this to 1992 and the Intruder Races Alliance, and they changed their mind. So in other words, tied directly to the Borgia Matrix quarantine, the competitive mind, a dead magnet, dead light, as it relates to taking accountability and responsibility for what it doesn't honor itself. That's a fallen state of consciousness. That's a black mirror. That's a psychopath. That's a dissociative identity disorder. So it's never going to take accountability for the fact that it didn't honor itself by honoring you. The honor that we have, which is eternal law, which is eternal love. So that means that we already know in the future result when we enter into a treaty as a sovereign.